What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another NFL Showdown edition here at Fantasy Sports Insight. This is Hold the Door DFS. This is going to be game 2 of our Monday night action, Arizona Cardinals at the Dallas Cowboys. We know that Dak Prescott went down with that nasty injury last week, so Andy Dalton getting the start. This should be interesting. He is one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL. If you are a new listener, please hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. It costs you absolutely nothing, and it helps us out a ton. So we really appreciate it, and we love putting out this content for you every week. So tonight, we do have a pretty big total, around 55. We should see a lot of points. Both sides of the ball like to push the pace. It will be interesting just to see what Dallas does now with Andy Dalton at quarterback instead of Dak. Maybe they run the ball a little bit more. I think the pace of their play probably will stay similar, but they might try to run the ball just a little bit more. Let's start on the Arizona side first. Kyler Murray at 12,400 is the most expensive player on the slate, and it is warranted. He has just been phenomenal. The floor of 24 points being the lowest output he's had all year. He has that rushing floor. The rushing TDs are there. So I think in cash games, he's really, really hard to fade. I think in GPPs, he's probably optimal too. DeAndre Hopkins has been just phenomenal with the Cardinals, and I love this play. Again, a high-paced game. He's going to see a ton of volume. I think the only thing that's restricting of Hopkins here is his price tag. 11,200 is going to make it pretty difficult to fit in him plus Murray plus Elliott, and then if you're trying to get another piece here. But I do think that Hopkins is firmly in play at 11,200. Moving down in Arizona, our next kind of decision or potential play here is Edmunds and Drake. As most people have been riding Drake in classic slates, it's been really disappointing to see that his volume through the air has gone down quite a bit this year, and a lot of that is the emergence of Chase Edmonds. I mean, I don't think it's just he's not just a spell back anymore. He saw 45% of the snaps against the Jets in what would have been a positive game script for someone like Drake, who's carrying the ball more often. So I do think that they're just intentionally trying to get him on the field and get him the ball. So for a $400 difference, it's pretty much a toss-up. I think I like Edmonds a little bit more in a game that I think will be up pace, and that both sides will be scoring quite a few points. And as you can see here with Edmonds, the targets, 6 targets, 2, 4. He's going to get some long runs on the ground. He scored a couple touchdowns. Again, it's probably more of if you're going GPP or a balanced build, I'm not really landing on these spots a ton, but someone like Christian Kirk as well would really benefit from a high-paced game as well, and that he's only 6,000. Moving down here we have Larry Fitzgerald at 4,800. Again, somebody that could definitely score a touchdown or probably surpass value in this type of game script, but not somebody that I'm targeting over Kirk or one of the running backs for Arizona. Gonzalez, the kicker, is definitely in play for Arizona. Isabella, 3,800, has been decent, but the upside's not huge. If he scores a touchdown, he definitely beats the kickers. The defenses I'm not going to be looking to play. And then the only other kind of potential value here for Arizona is the tight ends Daniels and Arnold. Arnold had been playing about 50% of the snaps before last week. It dropped down to below 50%, and then we saw Daniels' snap count go up. But again, nothing super safe, only 2 targets, so he's got to make the most out of them. But you probably only need a catch or 2 for either of these guys to hit or exceed value. Let's go back up to the Cowboys. And what a lot of people think will happen here is Ezekiel Elliott will take even more volume. And, I think the catch floor is definitely there on a slate like this. And touchdown equity, I think Zeke is by far the best play for the Cowboys. I think you could argue Andy Dalton at only 9,600 is really underpriced for a quarterback, which I would agree with. So I think in cash, he will be fairly popular. I just know Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton. He's not just going to, tear the roof off the slate. He's not just going to all of a sudden be a 30-point scorer here. We have seen CeeDee Lamb, play really, really well. Again, I think this is a product of Dak and a product of that offense compared to the Dalton-led offense. So I would bump these guys down a little bit from their expected value of, 15 to 20 points. But I certainly think Lamb and Cooper can both get there. It's just trying to pick the right one. And I would prefer Lamb. I think, you're going to see some shorter targets. You're going to see some more catches probably from Lamb than Cooper, but I think both are in play, but neither are a must. Dalton Schultz was pretty bad last game, even in a high scoring game, but I think you would think with someone like Dalton, he might get some more targets, just, easier pitch and catch, but I'm not 100% certain and don't really love the price tag for him. Michael Gallup at 5,600 seems really underpriced for his upside, which we know is 20 points. He can score a long touchdown. He can have a huge game. But again, how much do you think the Dalton effect will make them run the ball more often, which could definitely bump him down at that price. Greg the Leg at 4,200 is in play. Wilson, Cedric Wilson had 4 catches last week for 22 yards. It seems like they're trying to intentionally get him the ball, whether it's, through the air or some weird trick plays. So 2,400, I think if he gets the ball, anything in this range that he got in the last 3 games, he is definitely in play. The last value here is somebody like Tony Pollard for a RB2. He has been getting some decent action. He's seeing a couple catches out of the backfield for 2,000 again. If he gets 5 to 6 points, I'd probably be pretty happy for that price tag. All right, that will sum up this slate. I think you target Murray and Elliott, and then kind of decide there if you can fit in Hopkins, or maybe you want to go more balanced with Dalton plus Lamb, depending on how cheap you go at value and who you choose in your captain role. So hopefully you enjoy these Showdown breakdowns, and you will subscribe to the channel. Hit us up on Twitter, and we can help you get some free content at FSI.